What family tradition did you realize was actually illegal? Every Thanksgiving we played the hunt. That's what the adults called it, like it was some fun family game. To us kids, it was just something we endured. At 7 a.m. sharp, they'd load us into pickup trucks and drive us to the forest. It wasn't public land. It was some fenced-off stretch of woods about an hour away. No cell service, no cabins, no grown-ups, just a backpack with a sandwich, a water bottle, and one rule: make it back to the gate by sunset. The first year I went, I was 11. My cousin Kenny was 12 and smug about it. Just follow the trail markers, he told me. And don't scream if you hear anything weird. They like it when you panic. He didn't say who they were. Once the trucks drove off, the gate locked behind us. No joke, it had an actual chain and padlock. Kenny was gone within minutes. I wandered for hours, terrified. The woods were dense and twisted, with weird markings on trees like triangles and spirals burned into bark. Every now and then, I'd hear a whistle, high, shrill, like someone signaling, but no one would show. At some point, I swear I saw someone watching me, full camo, face painted, just standing there, unmoving. I blinked, and he was gone. When I finally made it to the gate around 5:30 p.m., my shirt was torn, my leg bleeding from a fall, but the adults just clapped and cheered like it was a football game. Another survivor, my Uncle Greg laughed. Over the years, I realized what was actually happening. The hunt wasn't just about survival. It was a test, a tradition, but also a cover, because sometimes kids didn't make it back. In 2014, my cousin Lacey didn't return. She was 13. The family said she ran away, but we all knew that was a lie. The gate had been locked. There were no roads for miles. I asked my dad once, what happened to Lacey? He just said she wasn't strong enough. That year, the rules changed. We had to wear GPS tags for safety, but they weren't safety devices. They tracked how far we got, how well we hid, how we reacted. One year, they gave us airsoft guns and said, you're the prey. Try not to get tagged. We thought it was a joke, until someone got actually shot with something that wasn't plastic. My last year was when I turned 15. I had decided I wouldn't play anymore, but you didn't get a choice. Refusing meant you were picked as early prey. They dropped you off 2 hours before everyone else. I ran for miles that day, followed by whistles, movement in the trees, shadows darting just out of view. One of the adults caught me. I still have the scar on my ribs from where he tackled me and pinned me to the ground. I told my mom I wouldn't do it again. She told me to grow up. Then I met Brian, new boyfriend, not part of the family. First Thanksgiving he spent with us, he heard about the hunt and laughed like it was made up. When I told him everything, he didn't laugh again. He asked, do they hurt you? And I nodded. He made me write it all down. Dates, names, locations. Then he called someone. That was the first time I heard the word militia. Turns out the hunt wasn't just a game. It was a survivalist training ritual run by a fringe group that my family was part of. They were conditioning us, testing how well we followed orders, how we handled isolation, pain, fear. The hunt was a cover for illegal training exercises. And it wasn't just our family. There were others. 3 months later, federal agents raided the land. They found bunkers, weapons caches, maps with evacuation routes, and recordings of kids being tested. Over 24 adults were arrested, including both my parents, 2 aunts, and Uncle Greg. I testified. So did Kenny. We found out what really happened to Lacey. She had died of exposure alone in a ditch. They buried her in the woods instead of calling for help. Didn't want the tradition exposed. The media called it the family hunt cult. Some of us kids were placed with relatives, others in foster care. Therapy was mandatory. I still wake up to whistles in my dreams, but it's over now. No more hunts, no more screaming in the woods, no more secrets wrapped in tradition. Brian and I visit the forest once a year now. There's a plaque there with Lacey's name on it. Sometimes I hear a bird call and my body freezes, but then I remember I survived and no kid in my bloodline ever has to again.